Ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, welcome back to the second episode of Monologue Mondays. My name is Serenzo, and basically what I like to do on Monologue Mondays is talk a little bit about the hot stove topics going on in the gaming universe with you, the people of YouTube. And we got a mixed bag of topics today, a lot of them ranging from Uncharted 4's delays, Rock Band got announced, Star Wars Battlefront's going to be at the Star Wars convention in April, a lot of things that we're going to go over. I'm not going to get into all of them right now. That's just the general consensus of what we're going over. I want to start with Rock Band, though. I want to start with Rock Band. And I don't want to say this week. I think it was like the end of last week. It was reported on IGN and multiple other sites that Harmonix was not necessarily porting Rock Band, but making a new Rock Band for PS4, Xbox One, and they're trying to support all the old hardware from PS3 and Xbox 360 onto the new consoles. And they're trying to support all the previous DLC from the old games onto the new one that's coming out for PS4 and Xbox One. And that's great. But here's my real question. Does anybody give a fuck about Rock Band? Anybody? Nobody really cares about Rock Band anymore. At least no one that I know. Now, when Rock Band first came out, it was the cat's meow. Everyone loved Rock Band. Obviously, kind of there was this thing with them and Guitar Hero, and Guitar Hero was like the guitar thing, and then Rock Band came out and had drums, had bass, you could sing, and the Guitar Hero kind of jumped on that bandwagon and started doing the same similar things. And then before you know it, nobody played either of them anymore, which is why there are no more Rock Band and Guitar Heroes. But Rock Band is trying to make it back. It's trying to make a comeback, and I guess that's cool. I don't particularly care for those games. Maybe that's just me. I did at the time, but I'm older now. It's been a long time since those games first came out. And I don't have as much time to sit at my friend's house or sit here with my friends and play Rock Band in a small room, just jamming away. It's cool. It's awesome. Love the music. I love that you're going to keep all your DLC. Not a huge fan about it. I just don't care about Rock Band anymore. And I don't think a lot of other people do either. I think that's why the franchise has kind of died out. How many times can you play Say It Ain't So by Weezer over and over and over again? I'm over it. I'm kind of over the Rock Band thing. But good for Harmonix, good for the people who like Rock Band, who are excited that this is coming out and that they can still use their same equipment from PS3 and 360 and whatever. I'm happy for you. I am. I just don't know why anybody cares about it. And then obviously, Star Wars Battlefront just happened today, on Monday, March 16th. EA announced that they're going to the Star Wars fan convention in Anaheim, California. Mark Hamill's going to be there. J.J. Abrams, who's directing Episode 7, he's going to be there. And DICE and EA are going to be there. That's the big news as far as gaming is concerned. They're going to be there. Obviously, they teased last year during E3 that they're working on Star Wars Battlefront, which is like Star Wars marquee video game franchise outside of like Knights of the Old Republic. And a lot of people think that EA is getting ready to drop gameplay footage, if not just like at least a trailer. We need something from them. Because we got like the little teaser trailer and it was just like an AT-AT's foot just coming down on the snow in Hoth. Which was cool, great, got everybody super hyped. Oh, they're making Battlefront, whoa. But I need to see, nobody knows what this looks like. Nobody knows what this game looks like. Is it gonna be Battlefield 4 just with like painted with Stormtrooper fucking skins on everybody? And the guns are blasters now? I don't know. I'm still hopeful for it. I am. I'm really hopeful for it. It just bothers me a little bit that EA has kind of been the ones who've been given the reins to the franchise. EA, as if you played Battlefield 4 or any Battlefield, you know that EA is all about that money. All about that money. And they're gonna have they're gonna have a season pass. They're gonna have a season pass. And they're just going to be like, well, the game is $60 and here's the season pass. Or it'll be like the premium edition, which is what they do with Battlefield, for an additional $50 on top of that. Oh, you get all the DLC ever. I don't know. I just don't know if EA is the best caretaker for Battlefront. I trust DICE though. As a developer, I trust DICE. I think that they're gonna make it pretty badass. I really do. They, for the most part, they've done really good with Battlefield. Obviously, Battlefield 4 had a ton of launch issues. Literally, I could make a half-hour video just on the launch issues of Battlefield 4 alone. But those withstanding, DICE has been pretty good with the Battlefield franchise. I'm hopeful for Battlefront. And if it's not shown at this convention, it has to be at E3. It has to be at E3. We need to see something. It's supposed to be coming out at the end of this year, at the end of 2015, like kind of around when the episode 7's coming out. And we haven't seen anything from it. And that's scary. That is very scary. Other hot stove topics, Uncharted 4 got delayed. And just real quick before I even get into that, if you follow Uncharted and follow Naughty Dog and their studio, and you didn't see this coming, I don't know what you're doing. Amy Herrig left Naughty Dog. She was the creative director or the creative producer, something like that, for Naughty Dog, specifically for the Uncharted franchise. She did a lot of the writing as well, from what I understand. And she left. Now, this is a while ago. This is 2014, I think she left. And that really, when somebody that important to a franchise leaves the franchise, it's going to have negative effects. And sure enough, it has here. Now, they've recovered nicely, from what I understand. But that being said, it's spring of 2016 is the new target release date. But I wouldn't be shocked if it got pushed back again. And that's nothing against Naughty Dog. Naughty Dog's great. They're one of the best developers, specifically right now in gaming. The Last of Us and Uncharted, and those are those two marquee franchises. But I really would not be surprised if it got pushed back again. It looks great. We saw the gameplay thing at not PAX. Was it PAX? Maybe it was. I don't remember what it was. We saw it at one of those little gaming events. Saw some gameplay, like 15 minutes. It looks great. Gameplay looks great. I'm super pumped. I'm super excited for it. But it got pushed back to spring, and that's not really that big of a deal. That's fine. It was targeted to come out at the end of 2015, and this calendar Q4 of 2015 is loaded. So it's actually probably better for Uncharted and us as consumers that it got pushed back, have plenty of time to play the other games we want to play, spend money there, and then we can get to Uncharted in the spring when we're done with those games. That Uncharted aside, there are a lot of games coming out in the second quarter, and specifically this year, that are super exciting. Final Fantasy Type 0 actually comes out tomorrow at the time of this recording, which I'm super excited for. I'm super excited for Bloodborne. That looks really good. Obviously, The Witcher 3, which comes out in May. And of course, can't forget about Arkham Knight, which is finally coming out in June. That was supposed to come out in February. Got pushed back to June, which I was really upset about, but I'm over it kind of. It's not coming out till school's over for me, which is going to be really good. I'll have time to just sit down and just really dig into it like I really need to, which I'm super stoked about. A lot of other games coming out that really don't have release dates quite yet, outside of those four that I'm kind of excited for. Titan Souls, which is like kind of an arcade game. I've done a lot of reviews on some of those arcade games like that. That's coming to PlayStation at the end of March, I think, at the end of this month, actually, yeah. And then there's a bunch of games coming out later on in the year that don't have release dates yet that I'm super excited for. So I think, Uncharted's delay really isn't the worst thing. I'll have a lot of games that I'll be playing, a lot of things keeping me occupied until spring of 2016. So it's really, as it does suck because obviously it's still going to be a great game and you still want to play it as soon as possible. But I think overall we'll be fine. I think we'll be okay without that coming out at the end of this year. Now, another thing I wanted to talk about was so many of these remastered and remakes coming out lately. Has anybody else noticed this? And I'm not just talking about, obviously Sleeping Dogs came out, got re-released. Devil May Cry, I think, comes out tomorrow. That's getting re-released from last generation. The Last of Us got remade from last generation. Tomb Raider earlier on last year. Like actually, I like the beginning of the console, the new consoles cycles got remade. Those came out. I think there's Final Fantasy Type Zero is technically a remake, although that's a little bit different. I'll give that some slack. That's a remake of a PSP game. So if you didn't own a PSP, you were kind of SOL anyways. You didn't play it. The Last of Us, I kind of give a little bit of slack to, just because a lot of people came over from 360. They didn't own a PlayStation 3. You didn't play The Last of Us, or really any Naughty Dog game, obviously, because they're a first party developer. But those other games, especially the third party ones specifically, they're really starting to like get me upset. And I know a lot of a lot of second party companies kind of do the remakes, like, Capcom will hire Blue Point Studios or whoever to remake Devil May Cry, or Naughty Dog remade The Last of Us by themselves, and that's cool. But if you're doing it yourself, if the company themselves is doing it, you're just wasting time. You're literally just wasting time. And I've heard rumors that a BioShock Infinite remake is coming out. I heard rumors that a Dishonored remake's coming out. And those two games were phenomenal. Don't get me wrong. Loved BioShock Infinite, one of my favorite games last generation. Dishonored, one of my other favorite games last generation. And they're great games. Don't get me wrong. Don't remake them. I experienced them already the way you envisioned me to experience it on PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, respectively. There's no reason for you to remake them. If people who gamed and had consoles when those games came out weren't interested in them then, why would they be interested in them now? And don't get me wrong, time changes, things change, people change. I get it. But overall, I don't know what the purpose of this is. I think there's just such a drought recently, not coming up this year. This year we're loaded for games, but recently over the past, I'm going to say like before the holiday season a little bit, there was just like kind of a drought for games. And even this holiday season, there was so many disappointing games. AC Unity was disappointing. There was a lot of that, and just so I think that's where all these remakes are coming from. Just we can't make something new that we know is going to work the way we want it to work and please people. So we'll take something that did work and we'll just kind of shine it up and wax it and just kind of re-release it and give all the DLC for free, which should have been part of the fucking game to begin with. But I digress. These remakes, they just have to stop. They just have to stop. I'm done with the remake stuff. I bought The Last of Us Remastered because The Last of Us is just that damn good. That's the only one that I've bought. I bought Tomb Raider Definitive Edition when it came out because I had no other games to play, and I wanted to play it, and it was great. Like I said, don't get me wrong. But I'm done. I'm over these remakes of like games from last generation that were great. Just let them stay there. Why do we have to bring them forward with us? They're new consoles. We need new experiences. We need new games. We don't need you to keep rehashing and remaking games that we've already played and experienced. I'm done with that. I'm over that. And while we're on the topic of episodic things, while we're on the topic of remakes, I want to get into a lot of something else that's been coming out a lot lately, as well as remakes, episodic games. Nothing could make me want to play your game less than telling me that I have to buy it piece by piece and play it each piece when you release it. I don't want to do that. I'd rather just pay you the $60, get the game, plug it into my system, and play it on my own pace. I don't want to buy episode 1, beat it, or buy episode 1 and not beat it, and then feel like I have to beat it and catch up because episode 2 is coming out. Or even worse, beat episode 1 and then have to wait 2 weeks, 3 weeks to play your game. I'm going to lose interest. I don't care anymore. Like, I played it, I tried The Wolf Among Us. I tried the first episode or whatever. I played it, I bought it. It was like, was it $5 when it came out on PS3 or whatever? I played it, and then it was like, yeah, you have to wait for the next episode. I was like, I don't want to wait. I want to play it now. I'm interested now. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I don't even care. I I got hooked on to some other game that I was playing, never went back to it. Didn't care. Just never went back to it. And yeah, it was interesting at the time, like, oh wow, this is pretty interesting. It's like, The Wolf Among Us specifically was kind of like based on like fairy tale characters and stuff. It's hard to explain. I guess you'd have to play it yourself or look it up if you don't want to waste the money on it. And I don't. These other games are fairly popular and they're reviewed very well, and I'm sure that they're very fun. And I had fun with the episode 1 of The Wolf Among Us that I played. It was pretty good, but I don't know how they review so well, and people just are okay with companies just feeding you little tiny pieces of their game as they see fit. I just don't get it. It doesn't compute with my brain. It just does not compute with my brain that people are okay just buying it piece by piece and just playing it as they come out. I lose interest. By the time the next episode comes out, I just don't care anymore. I've moved on to another game that I can play because I couldn't play your game. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But just me personally, that's how I feel. Maybe you feel differently. Let me know how you feel in the comment section below. Like the video, share the video, subscribe if you want more content. I got a couple game reviews coming out. I got to review my Hotline Miami 2 next. I want to review Final Fantasy Type 0 HD next. And I want to try to review Bloodborne, but that game is massive, so I don't even know if I'm going to get done with that game. I want to review it. I'll probably just do like an impressions or a let's play of it just to let you guys who follow my channel see what it's like, see what the gameplay is, and stuff like that. Really kind of just let you make your own opinion from there, because I'm probably not going to be able to finish that game on time to get a review out before there's other things out that might interest you. But thanks again for watching. This has been Monologue Monday. I appreciate everybody for stopping by. And like I said before, if you disagree with anything I said, or you hate me, which some of you do, maybe you don't, let me know in the comment section below. Like the video, share the video, and subscribe to the channel, as I said earlier. I'm Sorenzo, you're YouTube, and as always, stay classy, Internet.